So let's get started. Here I have a blank project in Gdevelop. All you have to do to create a blank project is go to this menu, go to File, then go to Create New Empty Project, and then you'll have to fill in all the information. You'll be able to create a new project. Now, let's talk about lighting in Gdevelop. Now, lighting in video games are very important for adding details to the game, for adding depth to the game, adding just extra polish to the game, because in certain games, lighting is not only just extra. In certain games, lighting is essential, like if you want to go to a deep ocean or something like that. So that's why lighting is important in the first place. Now, how do we do lighting in Gdevelop? It's very, very, very simple. Now, first we're going to be start by adding a new object. Now, in Gdevelop, our lighting will not be based on a sprite object. Our lighting will be based on a light object, and as you can see, it says displays a light on the scene with a customizable radius and color, and then the light obstacle behavior to the object that must act as obstacles to the light. Now, what does this all mean, of course? Now, I click into creating a new light, and I can just name it. I'm going to name it light just for simplicity. And here is where we can change the color of the light. As you can see, by default, the light is white. But let's say, just for testing purposes, let's change this light to the color red. And the radius shows how big it is. Think about it as a circle because in Gdevelop, lighting is a little bit limited and only the lights they can have to be in a circular form. So that's why they have a radius because it's basically just a circle. And I'm going to set the radius as 100. Now light texture is something that's not too useful. All you have to do is just basically make a sprite that maybe you want the light to showcase, but it's really not that useful unless you're trying to add specific detail. Now let's hit apply. Now, as you can see, nothing has happened yet, but something actually has happened. If you look down here in the layers panel, if you don't have this panel, you can click over here on this layers tab, the open to close it. But as you can see, a lighting layer has now been added. But before we talk about that, let's drag this light onto the screen. And as you can see, if I zoom up to it, you see a little bit of like a red tint, like a pinkish red tint because of the white. Now let's preview the scene and see what happens. Let's wait for the load, and it will be loaded soon. And as you can see, it kind of doesn't really look much like a light. Like it looks kind of like a light, but it doesn't really seem like a light. But one thing you do notice is that the background is gray, even though when we look at the editor, the background is a much lighter gray. And why is that? The reason is because we have this lighting layer over here. And now you want to go over here into edit effects, then go to properties. Now, this is the lighting layer which controls the background of the lighting, of the scene, which really is important for the lighting. Now, our lighting setting, it automatically follows the base layer. There may be situations where you may not want to follow the base layer, but in this case, most of the time you do want to follow the base layer. Now, what is ambient light color? Ambient light color is that background color that we just saw when we ran the preview, which is that gray color. Now, let's say I want to make it darker just so we can see this light a little bit better. I'm going to change it to like a very dark ambient color, like nearly completely black, and I'm going to hit apply. Now, if I preview the scene, it's going to look much, much different because we changed it. I can see the light actually stands out more and matches this color. One thing to note is that in Gdevelop, the darker the ambient light color is, the easier it will be able to be to see the actual light color itself. Now, this is cool and all, but how do we make things a little bit more interactive? Like, let's say I want a light to follow an object or to follow the player because maybe you're in a dark room. There's a lot of games where the light follows the player when they're in the dark. And I'm going to show you how to do just that, and it's actually very easy. Now, I'm going to first of all change the color of the light because the player that we're about to use is going to be red. So I'm going to change the color of the light to be contrasting, like much different. It's going to be like basically a green. Kind of be a green like this. Now I'm going to add a new object, add a sprite, and call it player. Now all you have to do is go into Piscal and just paint the whole screen red because that's all we're going to do for the sprite, 32 by 32. I already have the sprite ready in my files because unfortunately my Piscal is also kind of broken. And I'm going to get this red cube that I have ready. This is a 32 by 32 red cube. And I'm going to hit apply. I'm going to go back into the player object, add a behavior, add a platform character. I'm going to leave everything as default and hit apply. Now, of course, the player needs platforms to stand on, of course. So I'm going to add a new object, call it sprite. and I'm gonna call this just simply platform, and I'm gonna add an animation, add sprite, and use a black cube. You can use any sprite you want for this ground, it doesn't matter. Then go into behaviors, add behavior, and mark it as a platform. Ledges can't be grabbed. All of that. It's just a very simple platform. And I'm going to place these platforms in the scene. I'm going to place this platform in the scene. Now, let's say we want this green light to always follow the player. What do we do? Now, if I go into the player object, basically what we want the light to do is follow the center point of the player. Because normally it follows this origin point, which is in the top left. But we want it to follow the center point, which is in the middle of the sprite. And even though it says auto, this um this point is 16 is at 16 is at x 16 and y position 16. So that's where the center of the object is. Now, how do we make the light actually follow it? Now, this is very simple. All you have to do is add a new event and don't add a condition because we want it to always happen, so we don't add a condition. Add action, then put light position. I'm going to put position. Then I'm going to put equal to. And now, what about the x position? What do we want to set the x position as equal to? Okay, now we're going to put player because we want to be following the player, but not only just following the player, dot signifies that we want to access something deeper inside the player. Then point x, basically the x position of one of the points. And this point is called, of course, center. That's what it's called by default. Also, I'm going to set equal. I'm going to copy and paste this because it's a similar thing. But instead of putting player dot point x, you want to put player dot point y. And now it'll follow the x position of center and the y position of center. Now I'm going to hit OK and put preview. Now let's see if this works. As you can see, this works perfectly. This works absolutely perfectly. And the reason being is because, of course, we have made it follow it. And as you can see, the light completely perfectly follows our player object. And the reason why our player looks dark still is because the light is not that bright. Gdevelop's lighting system, if I were to put white, you would probably be able to see the player better. Let me just show you, for example. If I were to put white, let's see how it looks inside the scene. Let's wait for low. Yeah, you'll be able to see the player better. So the brighter your light is, um, that's the better you'll be able to see the player. So just make sure to keep that in mind. And matter of fact, I'm gonna keep this as no, I'm gonna change it back to the green. Now the next thing we want to do after changing this color, the next thing we want to do is like how do we make our light interactive? Like how do we make our light more realistic? Because when it comes to real life and in most games, lights interact with other objects. Like they bounce off of other objects. They're affected by it. Because you can see right now our light just goes through the platform, and that doesn't really look too good inside of a game, and it's not very polished. Now, there's a very simple thing in Gdevelop to do to add more polish. But before we do that, let's add a few platforms. You should do this as well for good testing measures. And I'm going to duplicate this and put it somewhere else just for a test. Whoops, duplicate the light there. I'm just going to put a few of these around. Now, how do we make the light actually interact with other objects, like actually not go through the objects? Now, here's what we want to do. We want to double click into our platform and add a behavior to it. And add a behavior right here. And as you can see, there is something called light obstacle behavior. And what this does is it makes it the obstacle is flagged as a light obstacle. So that when the light touches that obstacle, it won't just simply go through it, it'll actually interact with it and react with that light. And let me show you how it looks. Because there's no parameters we need to configure here. Preview. And everything, first of all, you can already notice right off the bat that the light no longer goes to the ground. It actually stops when I'm on the ground. But another thing you can notice is look how when I go near this light, look at how it interacts with it. That's how light is supposed to be. Light can't simply go through objects. And this is just a simple way to make the light actually interact with objects. Now that is a very cool thing. Now I want to show you two more things before we end this lighting guide. and that is how do you make a flickering light? Many games they have flickering lights, like maybe you want to make an emergency thing, or maybe you just want to make a flickering light for maybe a scary effect. How do you make a flickering light? Now, what we want to do first of all is go to our scene settings. We want to go to our properties here, project manager, and I want to go to the untitled scene here, go to the little three dots and put edit scene variables. And what I want to do is create a variable that controls the blinking. And this variable is going to be a boolean. It's going to be called is blinking. Is blinking. And then I'm going to put boolean and it's going to by default is going to be like true. By default is going to be true. Well, actually, let's set it as by default. Yeah, by default true. I think that's good. Now, what do we want to do? We want to add a new event here and add condition. And we're going to put this condition, we're going to go to variables, scene variables, boolean variable, is blinking, and we're going to put if is blinking is true. Now, what do we want to do if is blinking is true? If is blinking is true, we want to hide the light. And I'm going to show you how this is. We're not going to just simply hide it because we want the light to come back on and come back off. Now, what do we want to do next? We want to go to add action, go to other actions, and we're going to set a timer. Wait X seconds. Now look what I'm about to put. You can change these values all you want, but flickering is very random. It's not just a set time, or else it wouldn't be a flicker really. So I'm going to put random float in range. So basically, these is going to be the random time it takes for it to stop blinking, or to like reappear. I'm going to show you this soon. So 0.35. I've already tested these values before. You can play around with different values, but these are values that look good to me. And it basically is going to wait that amount of seconds, and then we're going to set is blinking to false. Variables, scene variables, change boolean variables is blinking to false. Now I'm going to copy and paste this, right click it, copy, and then paste it right here. And instead of putting is blinking as true, I'm going to put is blinking false. And instead of hiding the light, we want to show the light. We want to show the light, so I'm going to go into here and show the light. And now we're going to keep this timer the same. And instead of saying is blinking to false, we want to set is blinking to true. And basically what this does is it starts off as hidden. It waits a random amount of time, and then it shows itself. Waits a random amount of time, and then it hides itself. And let's see how this looks inside the game. I can see the light is on me, but just as more of an example, I'm going to set this same light. I'm going to set this light to be a little bit bigger so we can see this better. And as you can see, it's flickering. It's not just always the same rhythm. It has always just a random type flicker. And if you want to flicker slower, of course you can make a wider range of values. And if you want to flicker faster, you can make a lower range of values. And see, there's a nice little flicker effect that you can add to lighting in your game. Now, last but not least, how do you change the color of a light inside of a game? Because many times you may want to change the color of a light depending on what the player is doing, where they are, things like that. So how do you do that? So I'm gonna go into add a new event, and I'm gonna put a key on the keyboard that will change the color if we press it. So I'm gonna put other conditions, and I'm gonna go to keyboard if key press, and the key that I'm gonna set as Z. You can set this to anything you want, and I'm gonna put trigger once because I don't want the player to just be able to hold the button and be able to change it. Now, what is this gonna do? I'm gonna set this to be able to add action, go to light, and I can see we have this. We have up here set the color of the light object, and we can just simply go into this color menu and we can change it to whatever color we want. So instead of changing it to a green, I'll change it to a blue, and we'll see what happens. Now, of course, it's still flickering. Matter of fact, I'm gonna disable this code by clicking D and click this and press D so we can see it better. And I can see the lights here. And now if I press Z, it turns blue. And this is very good if you want to change the color for any type of thing. Maybe you're trying to program something like a disco ball. Now, I know you might be wondering, like, that was cool and all, but that's a little bit snappy. Like, how do I smoothly, like, change the lights? Or maybe I want to dim the lights to a certain color. How do I smoothly change the light from color to color? And this is very easy. What you want to do is go into the light object, double click here, go into behaviors, and add behavior. Now what you want to do is add a tween to it. Add a tween. And what tween is a very useful thing for smoothly animating objects or smoothly moving from one value to the next value. And in this case, the value that we will be smoothly moving is the color value. So I'm going to hit apply now. And now I'm going to go back to my events. Instead of it just instantly changing color, I'm going to double click here. And as you see, we have many new tween options now. And I'm going to scroll down and you should see something that says tween the object color. Yeah, this right here, tween object color. You can name the tween. I'm gonna just call it fade, and I want to fade to the color. Let's say we let it fade to the color yellow. Fade to the color yellow. And you have all these different tweens, and that's something for a whole different video. But you can do all sorts of tweens. But in this case, if you want just a basic fade, like a smooth transition, you want to put linear. Linear is a very good, versatile tween. And the duration in milliseconds, remember milliseconds, 1000 milliseconds is a second. So I'm going to set this transition to be half a second long, which means 500 milliseconds. It's very important not to get this twisted with regular seconds, or else it will be very short. We do not want to destroy the object when the tween finishes, and we do not want to tween on the hue, saturation, slash lightness. Now, I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to hit preview now. And now, when I change this color, it's not going to instantly change. It's going to be a nice, smooth fade. And when I press Z, let's see it. It's a nice, smooth fade to yellow now. And that is how you do lighting in Gdevelop. I encourage you to play around with all the features to lighting. Unfortunately, in Gdevelop, there are not too many different light shapes. There's only one light shape, which is the circle light shape. Hopefully, they'll add more to it in the future. But for now, this is how you do basically everything you can do with lighting in Gdevelop. You can get creative with these obstacle for the light, and they're really cool. But I encourage you to get creative and just play around with the lighting features in Gdevelop to to master them even more. I want to thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe to the video for more great content like this. Thanks for watching once again. Goodbye.